Okay. The D-I-C-K. Saka. 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 D-I-C-K. Saka. Saka. Slurping out the lips. Spitting out the cum. Yeah, right. Or is that foam? Right? Implanted in your brain. Tasty, Bonnie. That's what was coming out of Shimei's mouth after what you and your brother did to her. We're going into a new year. Never fucking went away. It follows you like those little brain munchers. Right? Just saying. Right? Just saying. So I don't know. I don't know. So what? You brush your teeth. You look like a fucking mad cow when you do it. And we know why you do it.
Is a him.
You gotta wash out all that yucky, gooey, sticky, smelly crud. So you can go back and do it again and again and again and again and... What is that called? Stack that bag, right?
Well, man, it literally just takes you smiling and prolonging.
Whatever. You're a loser, bitch. Right? You lost out a long time ago. Yeah. Look at you losing your fucking hair because you put so much glue up on your head. Always gluing on your stupid wigs. Okay, so... Andre really does try and help me. I asked him to put the hats into the bathtub, but not with the boxes. Do you see these little hats? And there's a ball there. This is, when I used to work at Gateway Place and did park events and stuff, people. My son is ragging on me. Once he doesn't even... I don't think he fully realizes that I want to move out. I'm working on moving out. I need a different environment. I already said that, right? Look at this. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to wash these. They've been outside for like ever. Ever, ever, ever. This is a little... This is Andre's toy. My son's just tossing things around out there, doing the same shit like he did before. He has no appreciation. This was Andre's when Andre was 3. When he came back home. Right? I've had it forever. Anyway, I sprayed it down and brought it in, and I'm going to wash it and then let Kyrie play with it. Trying so hard not to get mad here. My son wants me to clear out an area where I have food storage. I don't even know. I'm already having fucking nightmares. Like, I'm serious. I'm having fucking nightmares, people. So what we want to do is we don't want to wash off the labels. No, I don't want to wash off the labels. I just want to... can you see? I don't want to wash off the labels. This is like... This is cute. There's 2 of them there. One has a little visor. I used to work with 40 to 60 kids at one time, people. 3 times a week. For almost 3 years. Right? In the courtyard. That's not including when I did other stuff. People don't care about this stuff. They don't... You know, they're so selfish. People are so fucking selfish. You know what? My life is being trashed here, okay? Like... And I went off and I got this, and I'm going to show you else what I have. Which is great for Amari and Kyrie, and I don't even know if you can find these things anymore. Because I bought, like, when I worked with the kids, you know, I was making, like, educational programs, right? and did a lot of crafts, musical instruments. We did water park activities, drums, just all of it, right? Building birdhouses, just whatever. So I bought these, let me go get them. I'm going to show you, because I gotta throw them and give them a quick rinse too. Hold on, I gotta throw them in water, hold on. Okay, so I guess this is my documentary. This shit's not funny. What am I seeing? Oh. It's not fucking funny. Like, I'm telling my son, wait until spring before we do whatever it is you want to do. Well, anyway, I got a week off. Gotta get started on it. I'm like, it's gonna take longer than a week. I can tell you that right now. But okay, we know I'm gonna sell some fabric, but I think he wants me to get rid of it all, people. Like, it's not happening, because Tisha's now starting to show an interest in it. And I don't care. I got a granddaughter that might want to sew a little bit, bead or whatever. Andre can sew. I did the whole leather gamut, just haven't had time. Tisha's showing an interest. I don't know. I don't mind selling some fabric, but I'm almost afraid to get him involved, because I'll be like, no, I need that bin. Well, why do you need it? You can't see no more. As if you're gonna sew. Well, the kind of stuff that I like to sew, I need a selection of fabric, because I have this fabric that I need to find a comparable fabric that I can merge the two so I get the stretch. So right? Or whatever it is. In his mind, I think he just wants to sell it all. That's why I brought this shit up. This, what I got in here, right? As if I got room for this right now. But, can you even find these things anymore, people? This is the stuff I used to bring out into the courtyard with the kids for educational purposes, as I had them all have their own little book. I got anyway, I had this shit on a fucking shelf downstairs in the garage. They've been sitting in boxes for eons. Right? Because the yard, people. Once I moved into the house, I was fucking bound as a slave to this yard. Everything came to a screeching halt. All the non-profit crap came to a screeching fucking halt. All my sewing, everything came to a fucking screeching halt. And I was a slave to this yard for over 10 freaking years. 10 months out of 12 months, I'd get up in the morning, would be in the yard from 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, until fucking 10 o'clock at night. In the summer, until the sun goes down, or up into fucking October, November, December, I'd be until it got dark. Rain or shine, freezing, hot, and that's all I did. So I wouldn't lose my house, as people were using the yard against me because they wanted to get me out so that they could raise the rent to $4,500 to keep up with the fucking Joneses. Not that it's right, because it's not, but it flushes families out for illegal organ harvesting, medical kidnapping, illegal apprehensions, and all this other shit, so that, the middle class can sustain themselves. We all know that, right? Okay. So this shit, I got 2 bags like this, people, that have been sitting in my garage for 14 fucking years. 14 years. Because my life came to a screeching fucking halt when I moved in here because of this yard. as my family began to die. This is not the kind of video I wanted to do, but that's the reality of it. Right? And then to make matters worse, oh, well, we can't take the government to court for what happened to you because this is a systemic problem. It came in under a policy, so therefore it makes it okay. Get used to it with the other 10,000 people like you. The government can do what the government fucking wants. Who cares if you're going blind because of this, and this? None of that matters because it was a policy that made the government and their employees do what they did to you. So therefore, suck it up, Buttercup, and live with it. Yeah, I'm fucking living with it, people. Alright. Anyway. I know where I had 2 of these. And I was so hoping nobody stole them because they were in the garage. I always wondered if Sierra stole them, but she never did. I always wondered if some random person that likes to creep my fucking garage and steal shit from time to time, you never know. Anyway, I've been thinking about them hardcore for the last month. Because I want to let Kyrie play with them and Amari. You know, right? Amari will just... But no, Amari, you can't... Right? You can't grab, but you can look, Amari. You know? Right? Can you even buy these anymore, people? At the price that I paid for them, because you know I bought them. And that's what I used to take out into the courtyard when I lived at Gateway Place, working with all those kids. To teach them. Because they came from different countries. Many of them couldn't speak English because of their, origin of country. Some of them came in malnutritioned, in terms of malnutrition, because they came from true refugee camps. So they were, and traumatized and whatever. And so they were very shy, right? Right? But you bring out stuff like this, as they're in a courtyard running around playing, it helped. It helped people. It really helped. The children. I didn't do this for me. So, but nobody appreciates it. Alright? I get abused for this shit. One way or another. Right? And I'm like, I found it today. Because my son is pressuring me to fucking do a repeat. As he's being cocky with me. Right? And I went to go talk to him, but he wasn't downstairs, so I decided to go look for this stuff. And anything that I thought that I could salvage before he fucking got to it, to fucking chuck it into a big fucking pile, or just into the garbage bin, I brought it upstairs. And I've got other stuff in boxes. I got about another 3 more boxes of other stuff that is bagged up that's, right? And because it's been sitting there 14 years with a tarp over it on a shelf in the garage, just a little bit of water. The stuff that's in the plastic bags, to just change the bags, it's fine. But, no, that's too much work. You're just wasting your time. It's just junk. Who cares? It's not what I need. Chuck it out, Mom. It's getting in my way. And I'm like, Julie, you just want to move, man. Like, Uncle John and I, when, we were thinking of moving, right? We'd really talk about it over a period of several months, pros and cons, and then once we made the decision to move, and that was it, we were moving. Like when I moved from Victoria to Vancouver, he had a choice. You can stay in Victoria, do what you want, but I'm moving to Vancouver to start a company. But it wasn't a company. It ended up being a foundation, a non-profit, because my government made it impossible for me to start a company for myself because I was on social assistance. So therefore, I had to take my excess energy and I decided to found a non-profit, to which over the years, I learned that nobody really gives a rat's ass about, unless, of course, you're rolling in the fucking millions of dollars, and then maybe people might pay attention to you. But besides that point, you know, I found this. Well, I didn't find it. I knew where it was. I just wasn't sure if it was still going to be there because of the theft that goes on in this neighborhood from random people, including my own daughter, Sierra, back in the day. Do you know how many kids played with this stuff, people? I'm carrying it from the garage to the front, telling myself that God knows what I did. Fuck my son. Fuck the Punjabis, because they don't give a shit. They're just interested in accumulating mass wealth for themselves, people. Right? Fuck the Muslims, because they're like everybody else that's looking to do for themselves. Right? As they throw stones at me. Yeah, okay. I'm just saying. Right? Chinese, same way. Right? The ones, the white people, the Eleanor Gildings that have the, you know, the superannuation life insurance policy and the government pension plans and, you know, the senior staff that's been there for fucking umpteen years. They don't care. They don't care, people. They don't care. They don't care. I was there. I walked the fucking talk. And a lot of those kids that grew up in that freaking courtyard are dead now. Why? Because they were black, people. Yeah. Or maybe they were a Muslim from Lebanon, in terms of, like, you know, not all black, but because there was a mixture of Muslims from different countries, but there was a lot of Africans there from different countries within Africa, right? But, oh my God, so many of them are dead now. And I used to play with them, people, as they were coming into the country, and my government was putting them into the poorest fucking neighborhood complex that they could possibly find. And I was the only one that was out there doing this stuff. Now, if my son had it his way, he'd just throw the whole all of it. And then we just have another one of these. We got two of them. Where is he? Yeah. Look. I think this is another one. Yeah. Look. And I'm like, God knows what I did. God knows what I tried to do. Not only for my immediate freaking community that I actually lived in, but for my province, for my country, and for the United States of America. Yeah. Yeah. And what did I get in return? Abused. By so many people. And that's why, like, when I'm carrying this stuff, it was in a box, in the bag, and I'm like, okay, God knows. God knows what I tried to do. God knows what I did. Can I do it again? Well, you know, I'm not sure exactly where I'm moving. I'm really not. I just know that Amari needs a different kind of living environment over the next, I don't know, 12 to 24 months, maybe, at best, right? When Uncle John and I decided to move, and we were going to move, I gave myself 1 year to pack up, move, 1 year to unpack. Unless, of course, we're thrown off out into the streets in the middle of the winter because the government came in and cut me off of welfare illegally in January of 2003 under legislation that wasn't even in effect. And even if it would have been in effect, because it took 9 months before it came into effect, it still wouldn't apply to me. But they fucking did it anyway. And now, fast track up all these years later, 20 years later, the government has to say, only thing they have, well, why didn't you sue us then? Yeah, okay, you're going to throw my ass out in the middle of fucking winter in January of all months, right? With 5 dependent children, with my youngest under 3, under 3 years old, with Uncle John, a blind man, and I'm gonna come take your ass to court? Yeah, okay. No, I was in survival mode, and I looked after my kids, and I looked after Uncle John, and I moved us twice in a period of 3 months. I had to move us fucking twice. And I still worked on the nonprofit. And then after that, I moved into the apartment after living in that shanty shack, looking after a little girl for no money for the Ministry of Children and Family Development for the 3 years that I lived at Sarah's little freaking shanty shack. And then I moved into Gateway Place. And what did I do? This stuff. Well, those children that came from different countries were targeted like my family as they got older for their body parts, I'm sure. Because a lot of them are gone now. Just like mine. It's funny how we have that problem, but the Chinese don't have that problem. The fucking Punjabis don't have that problem. The Muslims don't have that problem in terms of like the Syrians as a collective group with their little fucking mopeds, with the freaking ones on long-term disability selling fucking heroin in the community. You know, it won't be long before they're in a big fucking monster house because they worked hard when they got here, even though the government told them they can't even fucking cut their neighbor's grass. And their neighbor is offering to pay them. Oh, shut up. That's what I mean. Like, shut up. If they would have moved your ass into fucking Gateway Place, left you there with the rest of those people, whether they were Muslim or not, your kids would have been out in the courtyard participating with this kind of stuff. Because that's the only thing they had to do. And when I left, oh my God, they missed me. Have a video on that. Everybody hibernated inside their apartments and nobody went out into the fucking courtyard anymore. Didn't we have another one of that? Yeah. There's another full bag. Same shit. And people want to abuse me. Yeah, okay. So anyway, I'm going to wash all this. Just put in some hot soapy water. The hats. Let everything dry. They're just, been sitting in a bag for 14 fucking years in my garage. As I'm being expected to get rid of everything so everybody can have their fucking way. Stupid. They can get rich. Or whatever it is that they want. Yeah. These, though, I'm keeping for Amari and Kyrie and a landmaker. I don't know where I'm going to put them, but... And when I move, I'll bring them with me. Yeah. I don't know how much it costs to replace this stuff, but I don't have... I'm old now. Like I said, God knows what I tried to do. God seen me. He was there with me doing it. I guess I'll just leave that there. This one I can't throw in water. It just needs to be wiped down. It's a little mildewy. But once you air it out and you wipe it down, it will be fine. But people are so fucking lazy, selfish, unappreciative. They take the whole box and just chuck it out because it requires energy with no payment. Unless, of course, maybe you had a couple of kids and then maybe you might want to do it, but even then, people got such bad attitudes that some of them would be like, yeah. I thought that'd be good for me. Perfectly fine, just needs to be washed. I don't know what this is, but it's unopened. Mask making. Oh, there you go. Now in a situation like this, all you have to do is wipe the bag down on the outside and what's in the inside will be fine. And so maybe we'll make some masks. That would be fun. That would be fun. God knows what I did. Why would I have all these hats? Why? What would be the point? Tell me. I guess that goes like that, I suppose. I don't know. This is what makes me subject to attack. Yeah. What do you think? How does this work? I got a ponytail on, that's why it's not working. Oh, some little caps that can be washed. Not done yet. Tell me, why would I have all these hats? There's like 3 of them here. Why? Why? Why would I have all these hats, people? Maybe because I was a genuine person, I actually cared about my country. I actually cared about the people that came into my country, regardless of from where they fucking came from. Unlike the ones coming in now that just want to fucking destroy my world with their greed. This one was mine. I don't know if this works anymore. I probably took out the battery. It has no battery, I don't think. I can't see. I don't know where the battery goes. Anyway, I think the battery goes there, but this one was mine. Mama Lynn. Gosh, that, and Andre can blow it back up, and he's got a football. And we know what I think about police now, don't we? What a joke that is. Joke of the fucking century. I gotta go get some dish soap. Yeah, so basically I'm being ran out of my own fucking house. I put over 10 years into the yard, 10 months out of the year, from 9 till 10, 9 a.m. till 10 p.m., 9 a.m., 12 p.m., until fucking 7 p.m., depending on what time of the season, for 10 months straight, year after year after year, with that fucking whip on my back, because of the sabotage that goes on in the province of British Columbia, Canada, while the government does that jack shit about it. Okay? So that's why I have this, people. And now that I have it, you can see I've washed it, I've rinsed it, right? I've got some more there. Let them dry. I'm going to move them, and then I'm going to start working on these animals. And then put them everything back into the bathtub. Move them around for a couple of days. Spread them out. Let them really air dry good. There's a difference between mold and mildew. For anyone with any respect for anything in life that's separated from them in terms of, as if I need these many fucking hats. Well, at one point I did. Because my heart was in the right spot, people. I guess you could say I'm a woman with many hats. Yeah. I'm a woman with many hats. What do you think? I think so. My heart was in the right spot. But there's something wrong with the province of British Columbia, Canada. Clearly. Right? Illegal organ harvesting is happening in this province and the government's not doing jack shit about it. Murder by fentanyl. Government's not doing anything about it. Trafficking and prostituting vulnerable women out on the streets just to have them lured off to their death for snuff movies, and the government's not doing anything about it. Illegal child trafficking through the illegal apprehension of vulnerable children from families that were loving, and right, but the government doesn't do anything about it. Illegal evictions out into the streets in the middle of the winter with 5, 6 dependent people, right, and then expecting the victim to take them to court as they're out on the fucking snow. But of course the government doesn't do anything about that. No. And people want to talk bad about me. A woman with many hats. Yeah, okay. Okay, so a woman with many hats. Now, just to show you, I have 2 bags of these animals. Alright. Oh my God. See? And another one. And then I get accused of being a hoarder. I'm redundant because I have things in multiples. Yeah. I'm being selfish because I just won't throw them out at the convenience for somebody else to profiteer off of my demise. Just saying. Right? Get rid of your stuff. You'll never have another house like this. Yeah, because it's just too expensive now. Well, I wonder why. It's called manufactured poverty. So when I was working with the kids at the courtyard at Gateway Place, which was in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada, which was the poorest complex of all of Surrey, because they were bringing in the refugees from Tanzania, Darfur, Sudan, Lebanon, places like that. Just setting those kids up for the next generation of ripping out the organs, lying to the parents, blaming the victims, saying they did it to themselves. They were depressed, so they committed suicide. Oh, so well, you don't want to hear that? Then fine. It was an accident. Fuck you. Move on. That's the police. That's the coroner. That's the government's rhetoric. Because when I was doing what I was doing, people, I didn't fathom that shit was going on in Canada. But that's what my government and their employees taught me. With their little fucked up, brainwashed, I don't know what, self-centered, greedy, broad sweep racists, a whole bunch of fucking assholes, whether male, female, or an it. what I did. God knows why I tried to do it and why I did it. Never fucking try. I did it, people. Can you even buy these things anymore? And at what cost? Seriously. I don't want to soak them. I just want to give them a quick rinse because I don't want water getting in them. I just want you to see. These things used to be scattered all over the fucking courtyard. By the end of the day, and I'd be out there for 10 fucking hours. Just like I was out in this yard. How do you think I had the freaking stamina to do this yard? I'd get up at 10 in the morning, go out in the courtyard, and I wouldn't be back in the house until fucking 10 o'clock at night.
Marine helmet.
Yeah.
I like marine helmets. They look cool.
There's one here for you. Where is it? It's a Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Maybe. It's big enough for you. Yeah, there you go. Put your mug on here and show everybody how handsome you are with your Darth Vader. We gotta get down and bring down. They can see. Say yo!
Yo.
Yo!
I'm definitely gonna join us someday. Where does Halloween?
Yeah, I figured you would. I already got you mapped. Okay, so you're dealing with children that come from a country, from a refugee camp, 100,000 strong, sitting under the sun in tents, literally, people, with a jug of sour milk once a week as a food source, and maybe a few bags of rice. Okay? Then they come and they land in Gateway Place in Surrey, where they're all bringing all the Syrians now and fucking Afghanistans and the Ukrainians, and they're targeting my family because, you know, the Syrians, they're already working in a municipality. I know, because the dude that got the house over there for those Syrians, I met him when he was moving he said they weren't family. He was just a Syrian that moved over and works for the city now and just happened to get them a house next door. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm just saying, right? Taking up all the housing, right? Well, I guess the Africans still end up at Gateway Place, but instead of paying $800 a month for 3 bedrooms, they're now paying $19,000 or $2,000 a month for the same buildings, same cockroaches, same bed bugs, same mice, and same fucking crazy people running around in there. Well, these children are coming, right? They're under culture shock. They can't speak English. How do you teach them how to speak English when they're traumatized? Well, you let them play. They probably seen that in their own country. They have a word for it with their language, and then you teach them lizard for the English language. I've got other ones kicking around the house. Had a lot of dinosaurs. They were cheaper to find. They were easier to find in the dollar stores in those days. I bought all this shit. Everything you see here, I paid. I paid for it, people. I paid for it out of the kindness of my fucking heart. Because I believed in my stupid, rotten, stinking fucking country, thinking that the public union sector was ethically moral. To only find out that it's not. And that's because the government doesn't want it to be. You see? I'm just going to throw these all in the back there. Real fast. Rinse them off real fast. Drain it. They don't even smell bad. but there's a little bit of mildew on them. Just a little bit. Well, you would suspect there would be after 14 years sitting in a fucking box. In a garage of all things yet. Well, everybody's storming around and huffing and puffing and saying, get out, get out, get out. We want more space. We want more money. You will never have anything. This, that, you're this. Well, you're like, fuck off. God knows what I did. God fucking knows. When my son was young, he had Ninja Turtles that he buried in the backyard at Wally's house. To this day, he regrets doing it, but whatever. Kids be running around. These things would be scattered all over the freaking courtyard. I've got some other ones up here that I, with like the tigers and those kind of things. So now, this is all solid plastic. Like seriously, you can't even bend this. So, as long as the water can't go inside them. So I gotta work fast. Just throw everything in there. Yeah, you don't even know people. Anyway. Okay, so what's the best way of dealing with this? Just a little bit. This is where I start splashing shit into my eyes. And then we wonder why I go blind. Do you know how much bleach I've used over the years? Oh my God. Now, I think I'm just going to take this shit as is. Oh my Lord. All of it. As is. Just work fast. There's a whole bunch of these little teeny weeny ones. Imagine that. I must be sick in the head, eh? What do you think? Why would I have all this stupid shit? Well, it's not stupid though, you see, that's the thing. If I left it out on the fucking road, it would be gone in a heartbeat, and I wouldn't even get a thank you. Not even a fucking thank you. Oh, I might get one or two out of 100 people. Yeah. And even then, half of them would complain that it's not good enough. Especially if I put it out unclean. I'm just saying. Alright, that's how fucking self-centered people are. Yeah. That's how self-centered people are. So I'm just taking these ones that are in the sink. Same idea. Oh, my body doesn't hurt, by the way, can you tell? God has blessed me. For as hard as I work for at my age, I really don't have a lot of pain. For what it's worth. Never have. I've always had a lot of stamina. Okay. So now, from what I can tell, oh wait, no, here's a more. Oh my God. What the... You're looking at hundreds of dollars worth of this shit. And twice that much in today's term. So let's just say it costed me $300 to buy everything, because I have a few more kicking around the house or whatever. Right? It probably costs $600 now to buy the same shit. But I'm supposed to just chuck it out. Kill off the whales and the sharks. So we can have an empty sea. Right? I don't know. You can't really see, it's dark in there. So now I'm just gonna turn this off and get in there and just whoosh everything around, turn on the hot water with a bit more soap, whoosh everything around, then I'm gonna drain it, and then I'm gonna spray it, and then I'm gonna let it drain real good, and then I'm gonna start placing them around the house on towels to let them air dry really, really good. And then after that, oh, I don't know, I don't even know where I'm gonna put them, people. Like I said, I'm being ran out of my fucking house. Okay. What I got? This is not a BitChute exclusive. No. What's the matter with it? Oh, I think I got it on backwards. It feels weird. Obviously, I got all wet when I was doing what I was doing. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so it's on the back. That's kind of cool. I can get with that. Red's not really my color, but... So now I got a bathtub full of plastic animals. Yeah. Came from Mexico. My mother used to go and come back with the big ones. Yeah. And then I made a Mexican stripper outfit. I actually did do a hat, but it's in it. I even made a box for it. It's around the house, but it kind of got squished on the top part, but whatever. I don't care. Considering how long that stuff has been sitting up there for in my garage, it's held up pretty damn good. Like I said though, people, I never expected to do as much as I did in this yard. Not because I wanted to, but because I felt I had no choice. If I have multiple reasons. I was trying to make a home for my family. Right? Give them a sense of normality, you know. And I was working out there doing whatever, and the city would come by, they could see I was doing, but they fucking, if somebody put the heat on them to try and harass me to make me leave so that rent could be raised, and just the whole 9 yards. The government does jack shit about that crap. They're building these stack and pack fucking cardboard box 2-bedroom with the playground on the roof. $2,000, $3,000 a month in terms of rent just for those things, with plastic pipes. A bunch of crazies living in that fucking building when people finally do move in, and everybody power tripping and, you know, competing with each other, and just over stupidity to all have it end up being the next generation of slums, which will be full of bed bugs, fucking mice, and cockroaches with a bunch of crazy people in there, as the government continues to bring in more vulnerable refugees so that their children can be targeted for the next generation of illegal organ harvesting. Yeah. That's the kids I worked with. Not the Punjabi kids, because, you know, they live a different lifestyle, right? Not the Chinese, no, it wasn't. I can't think of one Punjabi child that was in that building. I can't think of one Chinese child that was in that building. But Lebanon, places like that, maybe Syrians, I don't know, but definitely Lebanon, because I remember, and a whole lot of African families from actual 100% bona fide refugee camps, baking under the sun, starving to death, hundreds of thousands of them waiting to be rescued, to only come to Canada and have their kids die and end up like my kids. How the fuck do you think I feel as I'm being mistreated on multiple levels from multiple people, while the murder of my daughter Shimei goes without justice? Because in my opinion, Julian didn't murder Shimei by himself. He had help. There was a precursor to it because it was premeditated. And that's why Shimei was sick for 3 days, and their autopsy report came back that she was on medical fentanyl, as if she was being monitored. Fucking right, she was being monitored. That's why Julian Johnson showed up at 6:30 in the morning on April 11th, crying on about how his mom's house got robbed and he needed to hide out and sleep for a little while. But he didn't go to sleep. He murdered Shimei, and by 9 she was dead. And by 10, that's when he called Wolf, after he moved her body, molested her, positioned her with her breasts exposed, and then stood back and watched. And then went to the hospital and, ooh, right? Played that card like murderers like to do when they murder people. That many of them, not all of them, but many of them like to be in the highlight, like to be involved with the investigation, like to be involved with the drama around it all. And Julian wasn't by himself. He had a sister right next to him. And the kicker was, they showed up the next day demanding to take the baby. Yeah. They killed Shimei because of Freddie, because Shimei and Freddie were getting back together and neither one of them could stand it. They killed Shimei because they wanted Amari and thought that if they got rid of Shimei, they'd get Amari the next day. They killed Shimei because Shimei wasn't the only one that's been injured by them, especially Julian. I wanted to say murdered, but you know what I'm saying. While my government covers it up, people. Just like they covered up the multiple deaths of all those children that came in from all those different countries in 2008, where I was, and they're dead too. But not in the Punjabi community, no. Not in the Chinese community, no. Not in the Caucasians that are above a certain income level, especially if they're working with the government, no. Only the white trash get targeted, with the blacks and the native Indians. But God knows, I did the best that I could. So I guess through my travels, I was supposed to learn all that, what I'm telling you now, and have been telling you for quite a long time, with the medical kidnapping of Uncle John, the illegal apprehension of Andre, the illegal eviction and the pimping and trafficking of Sierra out on the streets with a failing healthcare system that purposely abandoned her so that they could continue doing what they were doing to only lure her to her death and then feed her to the fucking dirty cops so that they could do their little snuff movie, jack off in their fucking cars, and get rich. Because you know what's happening. My daughter's not the only one that didn't get justice in this province. Okay? Neither Shimei got justice, and neither Sierra. And all these kids that I used to work with that are no longer here and are dead too, or have completely fucking disappeared and nobody knows where they are because they got kidnapped off the streets and God knows what happened to them. Tortured, chopped up into little pieces, ground up, put into the food supply. Who fucking knows? Sold off for organ harvesting. But there are a few kids out here that I used to work with that have completely disappeared. And nobody, their parents, nobody knows where they are because of what goes on in this province while the government works to cover it up. Is that the reason why I did the nonprofit? So I can show you that I was a legitimate fucking person doing legitimate fucking things for all the right reasons. So therefore, why the hell would I lie about what I'm talking about right now? I wouldn't, people. Nobody's gonna go out and do these things if they didn't care. And with our government doing what our government is doing, they're making more and more and more and more people not care. That is what I'm noticing. And that's why when I leave this house, I could be very well facing homelessness myself. But you know what? I'm not afraid to face the future. And when my time comes to fucking leave, I will leave. I will make sure I have $3 grand to get me from point A to point B. That's all I need. And some time to pack up or liquidate. But if I end up moving into another apartment, I don't care if I'm blind or not. I might want these hats because I've been there. I know what it's like for a lot of families. So why wouldn't I start up again? If I could, assuming that I move into an apartment, because I'm not ruling that out, people. I'm not. There's ways of going around things. I can have a homemaker come in and help me. And then we can go out in the courtyard, bring out all the hats, the craft paper, the crayons. You don't even know how many crayons I got. Oh my God. Just start up. Just, even if it means nothing in the great grand scheme of things, because at the end of the day it doesn't, because your government doesn't want you to be successful. Instead, they want you to stand in line and wait for your turn to be taken fucking out. Unless, of course, you want to be criminal of mind. Is that why I did the foundation, to tell you the end of the chapter? The reality of what's really going on in society? My landlady owns house after house after house. Okay? I own hat after hat after hat. It's funny how the humans have no value. Don't you think? Unless, of course, they can be exploited. Because when I look at this stuff, that's what I think. Knowing what I know now after doing everything that I've done and what I'm left with. And what I can still do, as people around me are telling me I can't. Because I need to get rid of it to make it convenient for fucking them. Like, how does that work? No, I will just pack my shit up and I'll fucking go somewhere else. And then you can go take it up with your God. Because when I walk, I know God's with me, and I know God knows I did the right thing.